Okay, I'm gonna react to Beyonce Goes Country. It's about her country album. It's from Honest. I heard it already. It sounds pretty good. There's some songs in there that I do like. I don't know why some people have to hate it just because they want the whole album to be country. She's been fucking said from the start it's not country. Like the album's not gonna be country. Everyone's like, oh, I wish it was country. I wish it was like back in the 1900s. It's like, no, it's not fucking 1900s. She's already said what the album was gonna be. There's a few country inspired songs on there, but the whole thing ain't supposed to be a country album. I'm not like a Beyonce fan or nothing, but I'm just saying like, see me while I do your research for you want to jump on the hate train and shit. Like, but yeah, we're gonna see what they say about it, or not what Honest says about it, because sometimes his opinions they be true, sometimes they don't. So we're gonna see.
Beyoncé is back with the second installment of her Renaissance trilogy. The trilogy officially started in 2022 once she released the exuberant Renaissance album, an eclectic mix of dance music that generally went over well, and produced not only some of the most interesting work of Beyoncé's career, but also some of her best. There were rankings of Beyoncé's second act in this trilogy potentially exploring country music before it was confirmed. And inevitably, we got confirmation once she released Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, which brought on a lot of critics and questioning of Beyoncé's presence in country music. Texas Hold'em is a pretty safe stomp clap country pop number that also brings upon thoughts of the Lumineers' work, while 16 Carriages is a slow build, intimate ballad. Beyoncé still approaches country in a very Beyoncé and poppy way, and I think the questioning of her authenticity as it pertains to country music, and if she should be even taken into consideration, is nothing more than racial optics. Artists like Florida Georgia Line, Morgan Wallen, and Zach Bryan have been able to incorporate popular sounds, hip-hop sounds, and rock sounds and still be accepted and taken into consideration on country radio and country playlisting. For example, Morgan Wallen's Thinking About Me has more in common with the Maroon 5 single sonically than it does anything country, yet it was able to ascend on country radio. Same can be said for its mammoth hit Last Night. Florida Georgia Line has been able to incorporate many contemporary hip-hop and pop sounds into their music. I can't imagine they would have been told that they weren't country enough if they sung Old Town Road, for example. And we also have people like Sam Hunt and Casey Musgraves, who bend genres often. Modern country as a genre has embraced so many styles and aesthetics, yet is so resistant to accept that from people who don't have a lot of visual representation in the genre. The biggest selling country album of all time in the US is by a Canadian woman. One of country's biggest icons of the past decade is from Australia. Country is a genre that notoriously has southern US roots. One of the biggest country stars of the past decade, and subsequently of all time, Taylor Swift, had an exaggerated twang for the majority of her early career. Most country singers today have a forced twang and are not and have never been the blue-collar workers and rednecks they portrayed themselves to be. Yet for some people, a woman from Houston, Texas, who by the way does have a natural southern twang in her voice, exploring country is where they draw the line and have their meltdowns. Now there is a conversation to be had about country purists in general, and how many of country's genre-bending stars like Shania Twain, for example, experienced backlash and got told she wasn't country enough as well. But the conversation surrounding Beyoncé even transcends the whiny country purist, and some people just saying she shouldn't touch the genre at all, or isn't worthy enough. Now obviously the enjoyment and quality of the music is relative to the audience and listener, and if Beyoncé's approach of country music is something that aligns with what you like. But I don't subscribe to the idea that Beyoncé should be shut out because people claim she's not country enough. She doesn't know anything about country. She's not this, she's not that. When most of the same criticism isn't aimed at most country stars today, who more or less share more in common with Beyoncé's approach to genre bending than a lot of conservative country media would like to admit. It just seems like dog whistles for a more nefarious problem, which is race.
And for what?
The album was in part inspired by her treatment at the CMAs, where she performed her song Daddy Lessons with the Chicks, and had a lot of people mad at her for her simply being on stage, and she was also the victim of racist comments due to the performance. Daddy Lessons was ultimately rejected from country categories by the Recording Academy as well, which leads us to now. In order to get ahead of expectations leading up to the album, Beyoncé boldly declared that this ain't a country album, this is a Beyoncé album, signifying that she at the very least would likely uphold what has become her signature fusions and genre-hopping methods. So in that sense, it is not a country album. It is a Beyoncé album that has some country pop and country R&B, amongst other genres, while also tributing the influence Black America had on country's origins. While some might expect a sense of quaintness given that it toys with country music, the album certainly never loses the grandiosity and Beyoncé-ness of it all. I think a good example of that is the Jolene cover, Dolly Parton approved, which has been a hot talking point. It's a reimagined version where Beyoncé threatens to fight Jolene,
it's a cover
and then
of a
joins in
song. She's
unison
not
with
trying
her
to
man who
fucking
proclaims his loyalty
be
to
the
Beyoncé.
number one ace,
A stark contrast to Dolly
trophy
Parton's
type
original
person.
shameless pleading with Jolene.
You can't overdo
Beyonce's take
original,
inevitably
really.
caught some flack for its so-called anti-feminist
cover.
lyrics,
Lord,
as if
honestly.
Jolene herself is someone Beyonce actually knows. It reads more like a movie script than a genuine story for Beyonce, where she's just playing the part. Ultimately, I can never imagine Beyonce begging a woman to not take her man. So that aspect sticks true to who B is as an artist. But even with Beyonce's original spin on Jolene, it's just not enough to overtake Dolly Parton's original Stone Cold classic. It's one of those songs that are simply too perfect for it to ever be outdone. Jolene isn't the only classic that Beyonce reimagines. There's a cover of the Beatles' Blackbird. Blackbird was written by Lennon and McCartney about Black American struggles. Beyonce ties the message in by featuring a handful of unsung Black female country singers. Unfortunately, it sounds like they were tagged on at the end and aren't given much integration or airtime on the song. Nonetheless, it can't be denied the amount of visibility that will come their way just by being able to be on the song. Beyonce excels often her detractors. Used to say I spoke too country, and the rejection came. Said I wasn't country enough, said I wouldn't saddle up, but if that ain't country, tell me what is. 16 Carriages tackles Beyonce's rise to stardom and endless work life. It's a slow burner and not exactly hook Latin, but one of those songs that I find to be more engaging within the context of the album. Protector featuring her daughter Rumi is a sweet tribute to motherhood. Bodyguard, however, is the immediate standout to me and probably the most instantaneously sticky song on the album. It's 70s soft rock pastiche and lyrically it's a pretty typical Beyonce love song, but it all works so well and naturally. The three most attention-grabbing duets are lined up one after the other in the track list. One features Willie Jones, a rising country star, on a song called Just for Fun, and it's beautiful, lush, and everything you could want from an acoustic ballad. While the Miley Cyrus collab, Two Most Wanted, is probably the most stirring duet, not only because it's two powerhouses collaborating, but also because it is genuinely good. And Beyonce and Miley's voices complement each other exceptionally well. You would expect the Most Wanted title to allude to their life of fame and celebrity, but it's a love song, sung so well you might believe Beyonce and Miley were the ones married. The Post Malone collab is by far my least favorite of the duet run, and one of my least favorites on the album. Towards the end of the album, Beyonce tags along some of her more sonically explorative songs, such as Riverdance, Two Hands to Heaven, and Sweet Honey Buckin'. They all seem as if they are
it from that video. I mean, sonically, I heard the album. It's not that bad. I feel like it has some songs that are pretty good. I don't understand all the hate about it. Like, if y'all don't like it, then don't listen to it. Like, turn the shit off. Put on some raw wave. Oh my heart, I've been broke. Like, listen to his ass cry about being broke and sad when he's rich and fat now. I don't know why he's all sad. But like, she does something different, then good for her. Like, at least she doing something different. Cause some artists do the same music all their career. They do the same annoying sad tone or slow R&B or upbeat rap. You gotta change it up once in a while. I don't know how old Beyonce is. I think she's almost 40. Or I think she is 40, yeah. She's getting older, so it's like she's gonna experience new, different sounds. She's gonna do different things. She can't always be Sasha Fierce, and she can't be fucking, I don't know, like the same person from 10 years ago. Like, she's gonna be a different artist. It's just changing it up. And that's what some people have to understand. It really isn't, it's not no one trying to steal culture or imitate fucking country music. Like, super whatever people think. And people that are like, oh, the Jolene song, it's like not like it's terrible, like it's not good to the original. It's like, no shit, it's not the original. She put her own spin on the song. Ain't nobody trying to. You can't copy an original usually, but you can't do your own version of it. But I don't think that was the intention, was to sound better than fucking original artist Jolene. Like, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, haters obviously have something to say about the song or about the songs on an album. It's like, okay, you don't like it, move on to the next person. Go listen to fucking Cardi B. Go listen to Taylor Swift. Like, go listen to whoever. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see y'all in the next.